Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first game of a best of 3 to determine the third place spot in the weekly Exodus Gaming Clans tournament. We use this every week to determine who is the best of the clan. And it's usually just like one or two people, but we all participate just because it's fun to do. And like I said, this is the third place matchup on Icy Cup Test Bug. MLG's version, so there is those little silly supply depots at the bottom of each ramp, and this map is actually a lot of fun because it uses 3 completely different tile sets, and it's just a really silly looking map, but it works really well. It's very well balanced. Zerg can have kind of an edge sometimes depending on who is where. Like, I believe that, I don't think they get one for this one because of the way it's set up, but I don't know. PVZ on Icy Cup, I'm not really too sure about it, honestly. But never mind that. Let us introduce our competitors for this third place matchup. Up in the northwest side of Test Bug, playing Protoss, wearing blue, we have Sugareeboy. And his opponent also vying for the third place spot in the weekly tournament in the east side of Test Bug, playing Zerg and wearing green, we have Ivernus. Ivernus going for a pretty well-timed spawning pool. Spawning pool first, going to go there, and then I believe going to get one more drone at 15 and then go for a 15 hatch. So 15 pool, 15 hatch sounds about right. Sugareeboy and Ivernus both chatting up. They're both in the same clan. This is a very friendly style game, so if you see cheese, then don't be too surprised because no one's really going to get too upset with each other. It's just kind of like a fun little thing. They will be trying, though. Do not even think for a second that they are not trying to win. We've got a Sugareeboy probe just kind of chilling out in Ivernus' natural, trying to delay that hatchery, but which I called at 15, but he is apparently deciding not to do that. He is deciding to just drone up really hard, get like just a few lings. Maybe he is trying to get that out there as it comes out. Yep. It was just delayed very well by Sugareeboy. Down goes that hatchery, and I believe that that probe will now hightail it away as its job has been completed. But it is being chased down by 2 Zerglings, so we'll have to see what happens with this. Very strange that they decided to use those only 2 Zerglings to chase it down. I think that's really his only army, but I don't believe he's in too much damaging position. Sorry about that. As he does have an Overlord watching over the base. No Stalkers, no Zealots, nothing too much. Ivernus trying to run down that probe. Still getting pretty good mileage out of that probe, but I think that these 2 Zerglings will be able to get it pretty soon. Very slowly. It's like watching something catch up. It's like Brood War watching Scourge catch up to that Corsair. You know that he's gaining on him, but it's just so slow. Oh my gosh. Anyway, we don't really have much else going on at the moment. We've got Warp Gate Tech about halfway done, a Stalker finally coming out. It is also about halfway done as I say that. We've got probes coming out, no drones right now for Ivernus. He's just going to make sure that this queen is in position to inject that larva once this hatchery is done, and it is, but there's no larva coming out. He needs to do it right now. Where's the larva inject? Do it! Do the larva, there we go. Oh yeah. That feels much better. Meanwhile, in the base of Sugareeboy, we've got that 4-gate coming down. Dat 4-gate. Chrono boosting out that warp gate technology. I believe he has a probe in position. In fact, he already has that pylon down. He might want to get one a little bit closer. Maybe want to tuck it in between here, behind this rubble, so that he can easily reinforce and completely negate that defender's advantage that you would normally see in such a matchup. We've got that one Stalker coming in, poking around. Got a Zealot out there too. Gonna pull some drones, gonna pull some queens, and away runs Sugareeboy, just poking his head and seeing what he can see, not losing absolutely no damage done to his units. Those shields, if you ever watch them, they go up so fast. It's like ridiculous. 2 sentries coming out for Sugareeboy, so he will have that very crucial force field play. A probe going in first, maybe? Actually, no, the probe is just going to come down here, and he's going to tuck a little pylon down here so that he can get an even faster reinforcement. As I said before, a stalker and 2 zealots also warping in right now. Only 3 at a time at the moment though. And Sugareeboy's minerals are going way up. He needs to either macro up or he needs to like expand or something. He's also supply blocked, so that cannot be helpful. Just now getting out of that supply block. And as I say that, I think he warps into another zealot, and here comes an attack. But those 2 queens are sitting there. They're going to transfuse that spine crawler. Those roaches not doing too much, getting force fielded out. Those spine crawlers doing a lot of damage. Transfused down on the spine crawlers, doing so much damage, taking out all of those zealots. And now he has no zealots. He must retreat. Those sentries are also going down now. Zealot also goes down. He's only got 5 stalkers and a sentry, but here comes some more reinforcements. Now he has 6 stalkers and a zealot with a sentry. I don't think he's going to be able to take out this base with that force. He needs to come back. He needs to regroup. He needs to make sure that he is able to macro. He needs to expand as well. He's got so much money, as does Ivernus. But Ivernus being able to use all of those larvae to transform them into those roaches. He's trying to get a lot of roaches, as they are pretty good against gateway units, as I've heard. Very good against zealots. Very easy to kite them. But those force fields might do enough damage to make it worthwhile. Spinecrawler up on the high ground, so very tricky placement for Ivernus. There's no way that Sugareeboy is going to be able to attack that Spinecrawler, but there is a Spinecrawler out here, another Spinecrawler coming up, and these queens are still out here, so they still can transfuse this. And I believe Sugareeboy is going to be content with taking out this evolution chamber. It's not researching anything, but always good to get rid of that Zerg wall. Broodling's going in. Might take out that? No, he doesn't. I thought they might take out a Zealot or something, but that would be very bad. That would be a free Zealot, and that's not what you want. No production coming out for Sugareeboy at the moment, but Ivernus is researching Burrow. He's got Glial Reconstitution, which is, I believe, the speed upgrade for the roaches. So he's going straight up roaches. Tunneling Claws will probably come up right after Glial Reconstitution is finished. And we will see what happens right now. Ivernus is supply blocked though, and here is Tunneling Claws immediately after that Glial Reconstitution, as I said. And this should be a very exciting matchup, as those force fields will do very little against those burrowing roaches. Oh, here comes Ivernus cleaning up that pylon. Just supply blocking his opponent for just a second. If he can find that other pylon, he can supply block him once again, because I do not believe Sugareeboy is making one too many pylons as you normally want to do. But there is 3 coming up right now, so he will be able to lose a few of them just in case. Pylon's also right here. Which one did he kill? I remember he killed one. Did he remake it or something? That's very strange. But a third base coming down for Ivernus, finally being able to get out of his base and expand as a Nightmare Zerg scenario. You definitely want to be able to expand as much as you can all the way across the map. And I believe that Ivernus will now macro up. His minerals is going pretty low, but his gas is pretty high. I wonder if he's saving up for some kind of Ultralisk play, maybe some infestors. I don't see any infestation pit at the moment. So I don't know what he plans on doing with all that gas, but he needs to use it on something other than roaches, because roaches are just, they're not good at spending gas. They are a very good unit, and as they are upgraded now, with those tunneling claws, with that speed, with that burrow, and they're very effective. And you can see that up here there's just so many gateway units for Sugareeboy. Finally Sugareeboy is able to expand, he gets it up, and it is decently saturated. Optimal saturation I believe is about 16, and saturated is about 24, not counting the gas of course. And here comes the gas as I say that. And that is a lot of roaches moving out across the map. Good creep spread. Oh, those stalkers do not like that creep spread. And here he traps some roaches, but he's able to burrow and move them out. Doesn't lose any of them. Going to try and take out this rubble for the Xel'Naga Tower. There are actually 4 Xel'Naga Towers on this one. 3 of them, the ones closest to each base, are covered in rubble. You need to break them down to use them. But the one in the middle is free from the beginning. And Ivernus will take it upon himself to take that Xel'Naga Watchtower and establish a little bit of map control. I'm not sure if Ivernus sees this pylon. We'll need to see. No, he does not. Here comes a big thing of roaches. I'm not sure why he's breaking down the rocks. for Sugareeboy, but here comes Sugareeboy with a little bit of attack, and then he burrows, gonna try and sneak past him, but I don't think Sugareeboy is going to fall for that. I think he's going to move them back, because I think you can actually see them when they do that. I'm not sure. Oops, that was my bad. I'm sorry about that. I accidentally pressed back. Okay, well, that's actually a little bit of a blunder for me. I apologize for that. Let me push it back up there. Wanted to press V. I accidentally pressed B. Very, very bad thing to do. But down go the roaches. Oh, down go some force fields. Very ineffective force fields, actually. Going to slow down his army so much that he needs to retreat and regroup. 2 base Protoss, actually not bad. But no chrono boosting coming out, and he is also supply blocked once again. I should mention that I believe this is about a diamond level play for both of them. I believe both of them are diamond levels. Sugar on the verge of Masters, I think, but he needs to work on this supply block issue if he wants to make it into Masters and dethrone Daddy or Jason as the rightful champs of EXO. Actually, I believe Sedani wins a lot as well. In any case, Ivernus has so much minerals, so many resources. He needs to be able to get out. He needs some macro hatches. And as I say that, there I see it, about halfway done. 1 macro hatch so far, 4 drones coming out, 7 roaches, and Zerg ground carapace level 2 and missile attack level 2 is coming out, which means, of course, that they are 1-1. We'll have to check on Sugareeboy's upgrades. He has absolutely none. That is not what you want. You want to be able to get all those upgrades. You need that upgrade advantage, especially if you're Protoss. You need to make your units so cost effective as they are so expensive. But no, at the moment, Ivernus is actually making his units so cost effective. So many roaches with so many upgrades. They're going to do very, very well against this army, I believe, unless he gets a whole lot of Colossi. And as I say, those Colossi, up comes a Spire, so he'll be able to use some Corruptors. He'll be able to get some Mutalisks for some harassment. Mutalisk harassment, not too effective against Protoss as it is against Terran and perhaps Zerg, but very, very nice to have. You never really see Mutalisks against Zerg, as it doesn't usually go into a big macro game as it does against other matchups. Zerg versus Zerg, you usually see a lot of Zerglings and a lot of like Banelings and a lot of Roaches. You don't usually see air things because just those 3 units are so effective against each other. It's hard to really get to that point where you can use Mutalisks effectively. But we've got a big thing of Stalkers moving out. I think he actually took all of his Stalkers away from his base, so there's only like 1 or 2 right here. Yes, only 1 Stalker at his base and just so many Zealots. A lot of Immortals, which will do so much damage to those roaches, especially if he had them upgraded, but he does not. He'll only do 50 damage. I say only 50 damage, which is a whole lot of damage. I don't know if Sugareeboy is using his gas effectively, because he's making a lot. He's making Colossi, he's making Immortals, and that's spreading it out pretty thin. And you can see that Zealot charge coming up, and as well as ground weapons level 1. He needs those ground weapons level 1. But they're going to be more than behind. Ivernus is 2-2, just about to complete. He will have the upgrade advantage so much. A bunch of Infestors coming out, so he is using his gas for those Infestors. And there they are. Pathogen Gland not done yet, so they'll have to wait. They'll have to wait in the wings as their energy is pooled, as it were. And here comes a big, scary push from Sugareeboy. Doesn't really have enough to get through this, I don't think, because there are so many roaches. But where are they? Actually, they're going to be able to counterattack, going straight past everything, going to kill that probe. And there's a still Changeling just kind of chilling out there, keeping that thing. I didn't think that limited life units were able to capture Xel'Naga Towers, but I have been proven wrong before. And there's just so many roaches focusing down that Nexus, and down it goes so fast. In the blink of an eye, down goes that warp gate. Down goes everything, and they're just completely ignoring the big force right outside, as they should, because down goes a Colossi, and they're just going to try and pick off all of this production. Down goes the robotics bay. They're going to try and come around and get rid of this robotics bay, actually. What's the other one? Robotics facility, maybe? Man, I'm terrible. That's terrible. I apologize for that. Just complete brain fart on my part. Down goes that Nexus, which will effectively force Sugareeboy into an all-in, which I do not believe he will be able to win, as there are just so many roaches and infestors pooling at the natural of Ivernus. I think this is going to be the end of the beginning of the end. Oh my gosh, all the roaches go down, but having done their job, they can safely go into whatever the Zerg thinks is an afterlife. I don't think they actually have one, it's just kind of like a hive mind. Maybe those bits of consciousness will now go into, you know, an infestor, or maybe some drones. I don't know. I don't really know how hive minds work. It's a very interesting thing. I'll have to look that up and occupy my time that way. So much energy on these infestors now. Fungal is going to be going down like rain once this big death ball of Sugareeboy attempts to crush this base of Ivernus, this natural base. He might go for this third or the fourth. I don't think so, though, as taking down the third or fourth will not do very much damage. Another big push of roaches, but they're going to retreat back onto the safety of the creep. They're going to sandwich this big forest between them. They're going to pick off this Colossus, I think. Down goes that Colossus almost instantly, and down goes a bunch of Immortals trying to take on the Immortals, actually. No Immortals have actually gone down, but they've done so much damage already, I'm sure. 4 for that one, 4 for the other one, 7 for the other one, so there's a whole lot of damage going out for those Immortals. Down goes the Fungals, blocking the ramp with his own Stalkers. There's no way for him to move. Down go the infested Terrans as well, and GG is called by Sugareeboy. That little band of Protoss being completely overwhelmed by the Zerg swarm. And that, my friends, is the end of Game 1. I will bring you Game 2 in just a few minutes. Please don't go anywhere.